Hello everyone, it's Dr. Gupta at the Dermatology Laser and Vein Center, and we are with a very lovely patient here today, and we're actually going to be doing a thread lift procedure to help bring up the nasolabial folds and bring up the jowls a bit with using threads, and it's an immediate improvement, which is really cool to see. There's not too much downtime. Sometimes you can feel the little barbs poking you under the skin for a few days to a couple of weeks. But other than that, it's a fairly simple procedure. We don't really see much bruising with this either because the cannula that inserts the threads, it's blunt. So we're unlikely to hit any vessels in the process. And like I said, it's a fairly nice immediate improvement. She should also see some improvement in her under eye area as I place the thread for the nasolabial fold. It may actually make that look a little bit brighter. And then we are also going to do a little bit of lip filler for our lovely patient. And I just saw her a few weeks ago. We had done some Botox, so that's in place and she loves it, right?
Yes.
And we also did a rhinoplasty using filler. So she had had an injury before and it left the nose a bit caved in. And so we filled that in. And what does your mom say now?
She said it looks like it did before the accident.
And are you
It looks
super
perfect.
happy?
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's so gratifying, honestly, and it was so simple,
It's
right?
like I look like myself again.
Yeah, within like a few minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really, we're blessed to be able to do these procedures for our patients, honestly. But I'm going to go ahead and mark out where I'm going to place my threads. So, I'll actually start over by the scalp area for my insertion point. And this is the direction the thread will go in. So I'm just going to mark that out. And then we'll place one more thread here in the jowl area. Sometimes I also place a thread down here to lift up the neck, but we don't need that today. We're just going to do this movement up this way, and then I'm going to come around to the other side. So that will be our little insertion point right there. And I'm going to go ahead and I have already alcohol wiped her face. So we're ready to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of lidocaine with epinephrine to my insertion point here. And then we'll make a little needle puncture using an 18 gauge needle. And that's all we need. So no sutures, no cutting.
That doesn't even hurt.
Good. Yeah, it's not too painful at all. Just the insertion point is the only place we'll be making a larger puncture. And then you can sometimes feel that thread just kind of bluntly poking through, but it's not too bad. I'm going to lay you back now for this, the actual procedure. So here we go. I'm going to recline you. How is that? You okay?
Yep. Just feel pressure.
Yeah. So I'm just tunneling in the two directions that I'm going to be going in. And she's not bleeding at all even. And here we go. We're going to place our thread. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. Yeah, just pressure. Feels a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go beyond the nasolabial fold. Just going to give it a little twist to make sure it engages. And pulling the cannula out now, and the thread is in place.
wasn't bad.
Good.
Just a lot of pressure.
Yeah, just a little, yeah. You can see how it pulls up on the fold there for us and has given a nice immediate lift. When you compare this fold to this fold, you can see shadowing on this side, but it's gone on this side pretty immediately. And those threads are engaged and in place. And then we'll place another one towards the jowls using the same little puncture point. And keep it going in one direction here. And again, I've gone beyond the sulcus there, and then I am pulling the cannula out. The thread is in place. And if I tug on these two threads, you can see where they're placed and what they're actually pulling. But it looks very natural. Pretty painless.
Just a lot of pressure.
Just pressure.
That's why I'm kind of wincing, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. You hardly even winced. I couldn't tell. Great, and then we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, we've already numbed this side with the local. I'm just doing a little bit of tunneling.
I'm surprised it doesn't hurt like I thought it would.
Yeah, it's really pretty
just
simple.
Tugging.
Just tugging. Yep. Yeah, sometimes it takes a bit of force to get through the temple area. And then once we're through that fascia, it's fairly easy, smooth flowing. And that looks amazing. That shadowing is gone that we were seeing before on your nasolabial fold. Was this side a little more sensitive?
It is.
The left side sometimes is, and then we're placing the other one here by your jowls. Give it a little twist and pull out our thread here.
That one didn't hurt as bad.
Good.
This right side, I couldn't feel anything.
That's great. Yeah, sometimes you just have a sensitive spot, but it'll feel okay in a few minutes. Should be okay now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and then we just have to go ahead and trim off the threads, so we'll go ahead and do that. Not going to send you home with threads sticking out. And that's it. It's like we weren't even there. So what we're going to do next is add a little lip filler. And again, we don't want the lips to look crazy or out of proportion or anything. Just want to restore some of that volume, because as we age, we all lose volume in our lips. So let's get that replenished here. We're going to use a hyaluronic acid filler. That's really the only kind of filler I like to use in the lip area. And it's the only filler that I would recommend ever having placed in the lips. There are different types of hyaluronic acid fillers that can be used. So I like to use one that has more of a Restylane type of consistency. And again, we just want to add a little bit of volume, nothing too crazy. There are several different ways to inject the filler. I sometimes go from the red of the lip up, and sometimes I go in the opposite direction just to add those little mounds of volume. So let's see how she does with this. Are you ready? This is going to hurt a little bit, and I apologize for that. It's just a really sensitive area. If someone is super sensitive, we can certainly even give a nerve block before doing the procedure. There is numbing medicine in the filler, so as it goes in, it does start to numb.
It's just that pinch. I was bracing for that more than I was the threads.
Yeah. And that's it. Look how beautiful that looks from one side to the other. It's very subtle, not too big. Then it'll look more dramatic once we have the other side filled in as well. And she already has such beautiful lips to begin with. Makes it very easy. Sometimes lip fillers have to be done in stages, especially if someone has very thin lips or has really not much volume to begin with. We may want to build that volume up in stages so that it's not super dramatic, and also to allow that lip tissue to expand a little bit with the filler and give us more to inject into for the following time. But look at that, looks really gorgeous. All right, and then we're going to inject the lower lip, okay? A little bit. Sorry again for the start on that. We always like the lower lip just to be slightly larger than the upper lip. It's just nice proportionally that way. Build up a little bit of central poutiness. And that's it. Let me just clean you up so it doesn't look quite so messy. So the lips always look a bit puffier, okay, initially because they just swell, but it'll go down some, okay?
It's like a little bit of trauma to them.
A little bit of trauma, yeah, and it's that mucosal tissue just swells so easily and so quickly, but most people don't want their lips to go down. Unfortunately, they do a little bit, but here's where we're at.
Oh, that looks good.
Love it?
I like it.
Yeah, I think it looks gorgeous.
It looks
Yeah.